Hello, dear friends of pleasure. The amount of sperm seems to be a question that occupies many men. How much sperm volume is normal? How much sperm should come out? What can I do to increase the amount? What causes it not to increase? In this video, I want to answer all your questions. My name is Anchi, I am your sex sense coach, and I help you with desire and frustration in your love life. If you are one of the men who would like to produce more sperm because it makes you feel more masculine and potent, this video is for you. How much sperm volume is considered normal? It is said to be about 1.4 to 5 milliliters of sperm, which corresponds to approximately a quarter teaspoon to a teaspoon, and that was established by the World Health Organization in 2021 as a global standard. I have included a link in the description for you to read more about it. The amount of sperm naturally varies with age, daily condition, and is also influenced by stress and other factors, which I will address later in the video. Most of what comes out as sperm is actually not sperm at all. Only about 5% is sperm, while the remaining 95% is just carrier fluid such as water, nutritional fluid, bodyguard enzymes, also known as antioxidants, and nutrients for the sperm so that they can find their way to the egg. 2001. Where are the sperm produced? Approximately 50 to 70% of it is produced in the seminal vesicles. These are the glands that look a bit like small clouds, and they are attached to the prostate. And the prostate itself also produces sperm, namely about 20 to 30%, and about approximately 1 to 5% are produced in the testes. One might naturally assume that someone who has a particularly high amount of sperm also has a particularly high sperm volume and is therefore especially fertile. But the answer is no. It can be, but it is usually not the case. Sometimes, strangely enough, it is exactly the opposite. The body with a lower sperm density compensates for this practically with a higher sperm volume. Have you ever really considered how important your sperm and your sperm volume are for your partner? I found out in a comprehensive study conducted in 2018 that 240 heterosexual women were thoroughly surveyed about various in-depth aspects of sexuality, such as how strong the ejaculation is in men. Most women either don't notice it at all, or they probably have never given it much thought, whether it is less or more, whether you come powerfully or less powerfully. And this is obviously not a big problem for women. Of course, it must be said that it can be strange for a man's body image. When the volume decreases and the force with which it is ejaculated also diminishes. Yes, there are certainly various causes, and I would like to explain them to you now. What exactly is the reason that you do not produce such a very high amount of sperm? The main cause is, of course, prostate enlargement. And we all know that the older a man gets, the larger the prostate becomes. And through the enlargement, the prostate, or the prostate gland, is also pushed further outward, which naturally leads to a gradual narrowing of the urethra. As a direct result, significantly less sperm comes out, and with much less pressure. And this can, of course, go so far that the pathways leading to the outside world are redirected and ejaculation ends up in the bladder. This is known as retrograde ejaculation, which is ejaculation that goes into the bladder. The force with which the sperm is expelled is naturally also a question of muscle, specifically the muscles of the pelvic floor. I have also linked a video for that, which you can take a look at. This means that if you train and regularly do your pelvic floor exercises, the sperm can be expelled with corresponding force. Another essential point is, of course, how much fluid do you consume? Because it depends on how much you have drunk or whether you are completely dehydrated and dried out. And logically, if nothing goes in, nothing can come out. The amount you drink also changes the volume of your sperm. Of course, diet also plays a role, and particularly a high-protein diet can sometimes lead to an increased amount of sperm. And it is also something that you can easily and simply influence. This will, of course, please the meat and fish eaters among you. If you want to eat a protein-rich diet, you can simply eat more of it, such as chicken, fish, or beans. But vegetarians can also do a lot by eating plenty of beans and lentils. Dietary supplements are certainly not uninteresting, and one can definitely give them a try, because zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D, as well as vitamin E and ashwagandha, can result in an increase in the amount of sperm, such as there are also corresponding studies on this, but that would go a bit beyond the scope. Therefore, I have simply written the links in the description. Unfortunately, I have not found any studies that prove that the intake of L-arginine or maca powder has led to an increase in sperm volume, but maybe something will change in the future, and then I will report back to you about it. It has also been proven that smoking naturally leads to reduced blood circulation, which negatively affects the amount of sperm. The same applies to alcohol. Not only does it indeed lead to a poor sperm taste, but it also lowers testosterone levels. The same applies to alcohol, which not only results in a poor sperm taste, but also lowers testosterone levels. And testosterone plays a crucially important role in your sperm volume. It is now known that men with very low testosterone levels also produce less sperm volume. You produce testosterone when you exercise a high intensity for up to an hour, but anything beyond that, such as a marathon or similar activities, lowers the testosterone level. Notably, these are just tips for men who simply want to produce more sperm volume. Here is a brief list of medications, such as those that can potentially and significantly lead to a decrease in your sperm volume and other factors. And the first thing that includes this is the prostate medication, tamsulosin. This can lead to either no ejaculation at all, a very low ejaculation, or a retrograde ejaculation, which is when the sperm goes into the bladder. Certain antidepressants, which are medications for depression, can also cause ejaculation to be delayed. Another reason for low audio volume is undoubtedly, of course, the result of too much masturbation. So if you refrain for a few days now, it will lead to a larger sperm volume later. The increase is, of course, not infinite, but having no ejaculation for about 3 to 5 days can significantly increase the volume. So I can reassure you the amount of ejaculation, the sperm volume, is very individual and usually has nothing to do with your fertility. Most likely, your partner probably won't even notice. Of course, there are certainly some things you can do to increase your sperm volume, and I have listed a few things for you now. These are simple things that you can easily integrate into your life and implement, such as drink enough, have a protein-rich diet, and practice a little abstinence, even if it is difficult. In this sense, enjoy and see you in the next video.